Hello, this is Peter from One CNC UK, and in this video we're going to take a look at just some of the advantages of upgrading to the new XR9 lathe. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to have a look at is Pages. And Pages gives you the ability of being able to turn a solid model into a two-dimensional drawing. So we'll just open up our Pages. The first thing we need to do is add a page. Now, these are all the drawing templates available in One CNC. You just simply select the applicable one. You'll then get a preview, and you simply select OK. Then it's a question of creating the views. Now, you can do the views in either a model format or wireframe. I'm just going to start off with wireframe. And the first thing we'll do is a top view. You'll get a preview, and then you simply add that to page. Left-hand mouse click. Front view next. Again, add that to page. It's very easy to align these drawings, as you can see. Left click. And we're going to do a right-hand view. And again, add that to page. And then we'll finish off with an isometric view. And we'll do that one in model format. Okay, so it's then just a question of putting your dimensions on. So we'll start off with a few vertical dimensions. You then just obviously snap to the lines that you want to dimension. Now you can stop this form from reappearing, which allows you to change the height and the scales and the type of font just by simply unticking the box. We'll go with the vertical dimension again. And finally, one more vertical dimension. And I'll do a few horizontal ones. Let's put that one up the top. And then we'll have a look at doing just a couple of radial ones. So let's do something different with this one. Let's just say this is typical. Four places. Places. Eight places. 1.5 keep. And select OK. So a very quick and very simple way of creating, as I say, 2D drawings of a three-dimensional model. And it's very easy to return back to your drawing space or model space just by selecting on the arrows. Another thing you can do is now you can export as a 3D PDF. And this is quite a useful thing. Obviously, if you're sending it to a customer who hasn't got modeling capabilities and can't import solid models, he can view and interrogate the model that you want him to quote on. So let's have a quick look on how we can do that. So we're going to go to File, we're going to export out as a 3D PDF. I'm just going to send this one out as Lathe Pages and save. All we need to do then is open our Adobe Acrobat. This is a free download if you haven't already got it. And then, as I say, your customer can view the part. And if he needs to, he can use his inboard 3D measuring tools to interrogate the part. So a very quick and easy method of sending anything out to your customers for quotes. So let's have a look at some of the advantages with inside a toolpath. So if we just edit this toolpath, the first thing you'll notice are the tooling in the libraries. We now support all of the ISO inserts available off the shelf, the standard ISO inserts available, both in right hand and left hand. And you'll notice right at the bottom, One CNC now supports the new prime tools that are available for forwards and backwards turning. So we'll just stick with a 35 rhomboid right hand for this one. And we'll select next. So the first thing you'll notice is the name option. Now this purely gives you the ability to choose the name that will appear in the process that appears in your toolpath group. And if we select next, the first form of clearance style is exactly the same, and so is the boundaries. It's when you come to the rough face turning options that a lot of the new features are available. Firstly, the direction of cut, which is normally supported in the direction that you select the profile. Now it is also ticked. So if you need to swap the direction over from right to left or left to right, if you're using the prime tooling, you can do so just by simply ticking the correct box. I'm just going to put this back to auto. Smart roughing we'll come back to in a moment, and roughing style. These three options haven't closed, it's just a little bit more user friendly. A few things that have changed is equal cut amount. Now One CNC will take a look at the depth of cut you want to take and balance it out equally all the way down to the finished pass. So rather than having a final cut of, for example, 1 mil, where all your swarf is stringing around the component and making a complete mess, One CNC will break it up into equal stabs. You also have the option of arc entry. Now arc entry is normally used when you're coming in after an upstand, gives it a nice smooth entry. The retract clearance is now completely adjustable, and this is for external and internal work, so it gives you a lot more control over the drop down and the relief point of the turning tools. And then you have depth first and breadth first. Well, this is completely new, and just to give you an idea of what they do, if I just close that down, we have a toolpath here with depth priority. And if I select preview toolpath, you'll notice when it reaches this front upstand, it will continue working on the front section of the part. Once it's finished the front, it will then drop over the flange and work on the back face. And as I say, this is working with depth priority. And if we just have a look at the next one, which is the breadth priority, once it reaches the upstand, it will just drop down and continue the same cut depth. So that is your breadth and depth priority options. And if I just go back into edit, we now have another option, as I spoke about earlier, smart roughing. Now, smart roughing allows you, as you can see from the graphics, to work with a casting, to work with pre-machined billets that have been roughed out and maybe been to heat treatment. So if I just go back, we will open up a smart boundary. Now this smart boundary is going to represent either a casting or a pre-turned part. So when we go into our toolpath itself and select next, when we come to the smart clearance, we'll put a tick in the box. The clearance outside the box can be 0 or can be a figure of 0.5 or 1 mil. I'll put 0.5 in there, and we'll just simply accept that form to the end. And you'll now see it's using the second boundary as smart clearance. So it saves an awful lot of fresh air cutting, keeps your toolpath nice and clean. And just to finish off, we'll just have a quick look at some of the options now available in grooving. So we'll just go into our edit. We'll just push through the form until we come to our grooving options. And as you can see, you now have 3 options available for grooving direction. Positive, the tool will plunge in vertically or horizontally, depending whether it's face grooving or external or internal grooving, following the direction you pick the geometry. You can also reverse the direction that you pick the geometry, or you can do bidirectional. And bidirectional, the tool will plunge in the middle and work each side of the initial plunge point. So very nice, quick, and very useful function with inside the grooving options. Now, I haven't had time today to show you all the options available in Lathe XR9, but if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 1CNC UK. Thank you for listening.